Hi. Not dead. Look, okay, sorry, if you read half of that title and freaked out before reading the second half, I don't know what to say to you. And also, this isn't clickbait, as you may have noticed. What happened?
What does this mean?
What has he done?
I'm freaking the fuck out! I changed my username.
Oh, okay.
Well, that's not a big deal.
He just changed his username.
Change? I don't like change!
Everything is different now!
The world is over! Calm your non-gender specific flaps, okay? Let me explain myself. For 8 years now, I have been going under the internet username Dan is not on fire. A username I created when I was a teenager because I thought it was funny and stuck with because back then everybody had those weird online usernames. But I have found over the years that being known by this online name has some issues. It makes sense on YouTube, but as a quick real-life example, when I was working for the BBC and I met Taylor Swift, her PR guy introduced me to her as Dan is not on fire. Instead of, my real name, and she just looked at me like, what the fuck, and was probably a bit scared the whole time. How are you?
I'm really good.
You can see the problem, huh? As for my feelings, firstly, I question how well the name Dan is not on fire represents 2017 me with my current personality and opinions as opposed to 2007 Dan who unironically used the XD face all the time. Like, seriously, everything I said just had an XD face in it. I don't know, maybe I'm still just recovering from that last video I did where I took those quizzes. Remember that? I don't, I've repressed that way back. I've been very open with my progression online. Lots of YouTubers out there just private all of their cringe old videos because they want people to get to know them for their new current stuff that reflects them now. I haven't done that. I do think it's important to show how I've grown as a creator over the years, so you can see, he used to make videos like that, and now he's making these ones, and also, spread the message that we shouldn't be too embarrassed by our past, we should embrace who we are and our journeys, and not try to maintain a false facade of perfection all the time, which, I don't regret at all, of course. Right, look, I'll keep the videos public as long as we agree that the following things do not represent me anymore, okay? Llamas, Maltesers, the phrase dinosaurs, placenta, derping, or Delia Smith. Don't get me wrong, they're all great things. Let's just put them in the treasured memories box now, okay? And lock it. But that's not really the issue I have with the Dan is not on fire name. The problem is quite simple. No one knows how to say it or spell it. It's a terrible choice of username. Generally, as a big lowercase blob, it just looks like nothing at all except maybe someone that puked up some alphabet spaghetti. More people that don't know me actually search for Dan is on fire because that makes more sense, right? Why did I add not into the name? That just made it longer for no reason. Is my name Dan, or maybe it's Danis? I don't know, I'm not making that clear. I've actually seen comments from people who read my name as Danny Snot on Fire. Seriously, that's Danny Boogers on Fire if you need a translation for that. But by far the worst thing that has happened so much, and it's not only wrong, but just disgusting to look at, is when people type my name as Dan is not on fire, with spaces and capital letters. Don't need these anymore, they've been ruined. The more my career on the internet has grown over the years. Yes, I just laughed at the thought of referring to my own career there, +1 self-esteem. Various people, especially journalists writing about YouTube, have credited me, and guess how my name is most often written down? That's right! Now, this hadn't happened for a while, but the other week I was peer pressured by everyone's favourite and only probably political commentator crush, Owen Jones, into signing an open letter in a newspaper. Now, as I was reading through the names of the other people that had signed it, Lily Allen, Frankie Boyle, Paloma Faith, Caitlin Moran. Oh, look! Dan Howell. Wait, what's that next to it? At Dan is not on fire.
No!
What? Why? No! Why didn't they link to anyone else's frickin' Twitter that would have a weird name? Just me. What will people think when they read that and go, oh, who's that? That's a weird name. I clicked on it and he only tweets really sad things. Is he okay? It's like Taylor Swift all over again.
We're friends, it's all good.
I'm sorry, I just can't do it anymore. Please, let me be free. On the internet, to you, on YouTube, my people, I will always be Dan is not on fire. Whether I like it or not. Like, literally, though, the display name thing is just something you can change in settings. Anyone can do it. The actual channel will always be Dan is not on fire. Forever. And why Daniel now, in case you're wondering? Well, one, everyone at school used to refer to me as Dan Howell, which a part of me will always associate with an impending football or fist or cutting verbal insult that I still lay awake at night thinking about to this day. Two, it is technically my name, and I think it just sounds cooler, you know, Daniel Radcliffe, Daniel Craig. I'll never be cool. But you know, you can call me Dan whenever you like, you know, we're informal like that, you and me. I'm making this weird now, aren't I? Okay, I'll stop. In conclusion, let me be clear, nothing at all is actually changing. It's not like I'm gonna start making exercise tutorial videos on here. I'm not gonna quit YouTube to go become a lawyer instead. Already flopped that career path. I do really care about being authentic and want to try to put myself out there in a way that I think really reflects who I am inside. It's just that if I see my name referred to as Dan is not on fire one more time, I will actually remove my eyeballs. And I'll put that on YouTube. If there's a moral lesson from all this, it's either that once something's out there on the internet, you can never change it, which, to be honest, we are all totally screwed, aren't we? Or maybe it's that, you know, you should embrace your past and not care too much about old things being cringe, or maybe it's just that clearly what this shows is laughing at other people's problems is a very popular kind of entertainment. This is my life now, I'll roll with it. No, something else. I'll work on that. Thank you all for watching this, and if you want to stay tuned to the spiral as it accelerates downwards, make sure to click subscribe and ring that bell to get notifications. And also, as you may have seen on the Amazing Phil channel, Phil and I are moving out of this apartment, so this is the last video that I will be filming here. Go watch the video that we made, it is very funny, trust me, and yeah. I'm thinking like I need a houseplant or something in the background here, we'll see. Goodbye.